And we are live. Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Fun with Phrasals series. This is a class where you learn phrasal verbs, and you experiment with phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs make you sound like a native speaker. They are important. Today, we're going to talk about cause and effect phrasal verbs. And just to see what I mean, little introduction to this might be something like this. How do you say the result of something the way a native speaker would? Is it for this reason? Is that how you talk about the result? Or is it as it turns out? If you chose turns out, you've used a phrasal verb of effect. That's the kind of language we're going to be working on. But first, let me do a quick introduction, and then we'll get started. So here is my... There we go. Got my name on the screen. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. And by the way, if you click on the link in the Verbling chat window, it'll take you here. It hasn't loaded yet, but it'll be there in a second. There we go, where you'll see my profile page. And on the bottom, oh, it's still loading. On the bottom left side, you can click follow and see all my upcoming classes. Or at least you should. If you don't get the notifications, tell me. Some people said it's not working, but you should get notified. So that's for my group classes. You can also schedule private sessions with me. You should send me a message first so I can make time for you in my schedule. But basically, I'll work with you on a personalized learning plan that will be about your specific goals. If you're interested, send me a message and we will get started. Here is the material for this class. Take a look. And of course, as always, you can download a copy for yourself right here. Often, I don't do all the exercises in class. That gives you a chance to get some homework and some more practice. Today, I think we're going to be able to do everything. At the end of class, well, let me start the presentation, by the way. We're going to be spending the first 15 minutes just learning new cause and effect phrasal verbs. We'll be applying those to different exercises. In the last 10 to 15 minutes of class, we're going to do a little speaking game where you have to use the phrasal verbs that you've been learning. And if we have time, we'll do a little reflection about what was important, useful, etc. So that's the plan. Let's see who's out there. We have Mr. David Moon. Welcome back, Mr. David Moon.
Hello, John. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. We have Mr. I think you said to call you Rob, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. I remember Rob and I remember Valentino.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it? Last name was Valentino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is
Okay.
Valentino.
Right, okay. I remember you. Very nice cat, by the way. A fine cat. Is that your cat?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page for cat. I have two cats. He is a male cat. I have another cat, very young cat, black cat, and
Wow.
very lovely.
I have one too. I don't know if I have a picture. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find a picture.
Okay.
I'll look for it. Oh, my computer's too slow to find a picture. Wait, give me a second. I think I have one here. It's very important that you see this cat. It's very important. This cat could change your life. Give me a second. I gotta go to my pictures. I'm almost sure I have a picture here. One moment. Go to photos. Go to... I'm in my photo section. Are you here, cat? No cat photos. Nope. I can't show you anything. Oh well. Sorry. Next time.
No, no.
It will change your life, I promise you that. Then we've got Mr. Marcus, who is from Brazil. but he's living in
Yes.
Paris, or he was in Paris, right?
Right.
Okay. See, I remember. And hey, look at this. We've got someone new. We've got Vladimiru, or Vladimiru. How do I say your name?
Vladimir.
Oh, I can't hear you. One more time.
Can you hear me?
Repeat. It's a little hard to hear you. But say it again, please.
Vladimir.
Vladimir.
People just call me Vlad.
Vlad.
Yeah.
Vlad, I'm glad to meet you, Vlad.
Thank you. I'm glad to meet you too.
Where are you from, Vlad?
I'm from Taiwan.
From Taiwan?
Yeah.
Is that a Taiwanese name? Vladimiru?
Actually, it's just the internet name.
Oh, okay. Got it. Because most people with the name Vlad are sort of somewhere in Russia, somewhere. Vlad seems a very sort of Cyrillic sounding name. Okay, so listen, let's get started, everyone. Maybe we'll have a few more people joining us. We'll see. But let's get started with or without them. Here we go. We're going to begin by just learning a set of phrasal verbs. So first, I want you to notice two, well, I want to say two patterns, but now it's not really true. I want you to notice one pattern, and then there's a bunch of other words that don't really follow the pattern. The pattern is off. So, let's all read one of these. If you can think of a sentence where you can use it, great. If you can't, don't worry about it, because we're going to do a little practice. Oh, look, and there's V. Hello, V. How are you?
Hello, John. I'm good.
Very
How are
good.
you?
I'm all right. So, we've got, I want to hear you say these, because I don't feel like talking. I just want to hear you say what you see on screen. Mr. David Moon, say the first one for us. After it says, a number of phrasal verbs associated with cause and effect have the particle off. So these are all off. Let me hear you say the first one.
Set of something.
Set off something. Very good. We can also set something off. Okay?
Okay.
Mr. Rob, say the second one for me.
Trigger of something.
Not try, but trig. Trigger.
Trigger of something.
Right. Or trigger something off. Notice you can say it both ways. Okay. Mr. Marcus, can you say the third one for me?
Spark of something.
Right. Spark something off, spark off something. This one is also possible to reverse. Let's see. Mr. Vlad, can you say the fourth one for me?
Set someone off.
Set someone off. Notice that's someone and not something. That's important. So they mean something very different when you use something and someone. All right. So now that you've seen these four phrasal verbs, let's see if we can figure out what they actually mean. You have to use your intuition. You have to use your knowledge of English, right? Because I haven't defined them yet. That means you might not get them wrong. I mean, you might not get them right. But don't worry. You're going to learn if you make a mistake. Don't worry about it. Notice the definitions are underlined. Okay, we've got caused an explosion, made an alarm ring, caused a series of events or a lot of activity, often without intending to do so. We're down there on the fourth one. Made him start to talk about something he often talks about. The fifth one made her start to laugh or cry. The sixth one caused something to happen suddenly. Then the last one made something suddenly begin. Often difficult or violent situation. So, you can probably already tell that you're going to use the same ones more than once. They'll be used in different ways. Okay? So, let's give it a try. You're going to make your best guess. Is it set off, spark off, set someone off or trigger off? Okay, let's find out. Let's start with saying hello to Mr. Giancarlo. Hello, Giancarlo. How are you?
Fine, thank you, John. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so you've seen the 4 choices, hopefully, and you're going to make an educated guess starting with the terrorists.
The terrorists. The bomb in the middle of the rush hour. The terrorists trigger the bomb off in the middle of the rush hour.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I just guess. No.
These are so similar that because here's the problem. I guess we can't really trigger a bomb. I mean, I suppose you could, but trigger is more related to guns because there's an actual little trigger that your finger touches.
Yeah.
Bombs, they can have a trigger too.
Yeah.
Right. So they can have a trigger. Terrorists triggered the bomb off.
So
I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to think if I could say that in any context. Triggered the bomb off. I'll tell you what. It would probably be okay if you did use off, because somehow the phrasal verb doesn't work. But trigger alone would be okay. The terrorists triggered the bomb in the middle. That could work. That could work. Anyway, there's probably a better answer. So we'll come back to that in just a second. Think about it. Remember, I don't expect you to know the answer. I just want you to make an educated guess, and then we'll see. We'll see how difficult it is, or how easy. Giancarlo, let's take a look at we accidentally. Can you read it for me?
Yes, we accidentally the burglar alarm when we came into the house. We accidentally set off
the burglar alarm, which means made the burglar alarm ring. Okay.
Yes.
So I agree. By the way, when you're reading and there's a missing word, sometimes in English we just say, we read that as a blank. Blank meaning empty space. So if you're not sure, you could say we accidentally blank the burglar alarm. Okay? So a gap or blank. We usually say blank. To me, that sounds perfectly okay, so we're going to go with set off. Okay? Let's go back to Mr. David. The scandal.
The scandal triggered off a series of events which caused the collapse of the government and the general election, I think.
Okay, very good. So number 1 and number 3, they're very similar. If we use trigger, we can't use off.
Okay.
Because it's really hard to explain why, but I guess because the scandal triggered a series of events. That would be okay. Yeah.
Or if I use a sparked off
a series of events. I think that it's not impossible to use. It's not the best choice, but it's not impossible.
Okay.
Okay, but we'll come back to those in just a second. So we have learned something good here. Trigger fits in a lot of these if it's not a phrasal verb. That's actually interesting. Make a mental note. Mr. Rob, look at you shouldn't. See that one, the 4th?
Okay, sure. You shouldn't have mentioned flying saucer.
Saucers.
Saucer. You have blank him now. He will talk for hours.
Right. What's a flying saucer, Rob?
Actually, I don't know.
Let's find out. Do you know what a UFO is, Rob?
Yeah, I know.
That's the same thing. Flying saucer, UFO. Little green men from another planet.
Alien.
So you shouldn't have mentioned the UFO to him, UFOs, because you've blank him blank now. He'll talk for hours. What do you think you've done to him?
You have set
Him?
him
What? Set him
off. Now.
off. You've set him off.
Yeah.
I agree. So, much like an alarm, which is set something off, you can set a person off. And you can see the definition. Made him start to talk, to set off. Sounds good to me, so we'll go with that. Let's see. I'm just going to keep going in the order that I see you. So the next person I see is... Oh, but we've already done you. I got to skip you. Let's go to Marcus. I think you're next. The ending of the play.
Okay. The ending of the play really blank here. Like I didn't know whether she was looking or
Whoop.
crying.
Not looking. Laughing.
Laughing or crying.
Good. Good. Okay. These are your choices. Take a quick look.
Set off.
Let's see. So, the ending of the play really... What? Really? Say that again with the right... Yeah. Go for it. Marcus?
Set tutor.
Yeah, but read the whole sentence. Let's hear how it sounds. The ending of the play.
The ending of the play really set her off. I didn't know whether she was laughing or crying.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So in this case, setting her off doesn't mean getting her to talk. It means evoking an emotion. It really set her off. I've got to say that this is more of a British way of using the phrasal verb. Because in American English, set off, it's not so much for, like, crying. Set off could be to make someone angry or to sort of, there's another expression you might want to know. British expression, which is to wind someone up. To wind someone up. Maybe we would use it, so that means like to, you know what's going to get them upset or angry. So maybe we would use set off like that. The person driving without using signals on the highway really set me off, really made me angry, something like that. Okay, so this one is slightly different than American English. Okay, we're going to go back to the ones we missed, which was 1 and 3 in just a second. But let's see if we can get the last two. So now we're on to V for the crisis.
The crisis line a bitter civil war. The crisis sparks off a bitter civil war.
Crisis sparked off a bitter civil war. Sounds good to me, so we'll go with that. Crisis sparked. Why did the crisis set off a bitter civil war? I wonder, what's the difference between spark and set? Any idea? Yeah?
I see the word suddenly, so I imagine about a firework. It is sparkling.
Suddenly, right. That's it. A spark happens really fast, like when you light a match. So, if the idea is that it happens rapidly, suddenly, or unexpectedly, it's going to be spark rather than set. Set has something to do with either thinking about it and planning it, like to set a plan in motion, or I guess set could be to create a chain reaction of things. You do one thing which leads to another, which leads to another. So set has this slightly different meaning. So you're right. Spark, a bit of civil war. All right. And I think I missed Giancarlo earlier, so it's back to you, Giancarlo, for the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister's speech, blank blank, violent protest in cities up and down the country. So the Prime Minister's speech set off
Well, it could be.
violent protests in cities up and down the country.
Yep, it could be.
It could be
It could be, but is there a better choice?
a better one. Okay, the Prime Minister.
Set off works. There's no problem using it. But is there a better choice? What happened first? The Prime Minister's speech or the protest?
The speech.
Of
The
course. So, to really show that there's a direct result from that cause, it's kind of like picking up a gun. When you pick up a gun and you do something, the gun shoots. What do you have to do to shoot the gun? In other words, if you think about the metaphor of a gun, one simple action from your finger creates an immediate result. There's no delay. It's immediate, and I think that's what they're trying to say here.
So triggered off.
I think it's got to be, because we want to show that there is no doubt at all that the Prime Minister's speech was the cause. So set off works, but trigger off is much better in this case. Okay? So let's go take a look at the answers now.
Yes.
We've got number one was set a bomb off in the middle of rush hour. Set off the burglar alarm, we did. But look, the scandal set off a series of events. The scandal could also trigger a series of events without off. Okay? So, ambulance. So, I would say trigger is okay in some of them. But in the last one, it's really triggered off. We could say trigger too. Prime Minister's speech triggered violent protests. But triggered off somehow shows that it's an immediate it's an immediate result. There's absolutely no doubt. A led to B. There's clear. I suppose the difference is that in number one, the terrorists triggered the bomb or set off the bomb, but not triggered off the bomb. Because you can't, the bomb explodes. It's a physical thing. And down in the last one, the violent protests explode, but it's metaphorical. So the reason we can't say trigger off with the terrorists is because it's not a metaphor. The bomb really did explode. Okay? So that might help a little bit to explain the difference. So basically, if it's something physical, set off, or trigger. If it's more metaphorical, but you want to show there's a direct result, trigger off. I'm not saying that violent protests aren't physical things. They do happen with people in a place, but it's not the same. The metaphor is that it's like a bomb. That's the metaphor that they're trying to say. So, let that sink in for a while, and basically, that is the pattern that you need to know, the off pattern. But here, we've got all the phrasal verbs that don't fit the pattern. Let's just read through the list first so that you can get used to it, okay? David, read the first one for me with the definition.
Bring back makes me remember to think about something from the past.
Okay. So the effect in this case is about your memory. It's the effect on your memory. Mr. Rob, can you read the second one?
Yeah, sure. Lie behind. Explain or be the real reasons for something.
Okay. So we have to find out the effect that we can't see, or the result that we don't see. Okay, Giancarlo, the next one.
Are spring from are caused by.
Okay, spring from. So this is just another way to say the cause. Now we're focusing on the cause, not the effect. Mr. Marcus, the fourth.
Stirred up, causing arguments or bad feelings between people, usually on purpose.
What's the name of that Bob Marley song from the 1970s? Anyone know?
No.
Mr. David Moon, our musician? Bob Marley? No?
Yes, I know.
Does anyone know the name of that song? Can anyone sing it? Yes! Stir it up. Now we know what Bob Marley was singing about. Stir it up. Do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do. So he was probably singing about many things, but one of the meanings has to do with stirring up people, getting them excited and out there in the streets doing things. Probably that was part of his message. Okay, V, we've got the fifth one.
Pay back. Get even with someone for doing something.
Getting what? Get what?
Get even.
Even.
With.
Yeah, what does that mean, to get even with someone? Do you know?
I think make someone equal with another person.
Not exactly equal. Getting even is the same as revenge.
Revenge?
Revenge.
I know that word. Yeah.
To get even means revenge. So you're only going to get even with someone who did something wrong to you in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So.
But John, there's another word means revenge. Revenge, but something venge, I have to remember. Avenge?
Vengeance. Vengeance? Like
it also means payback.
Like this, vengeance.
No.
There's a bunch of words. There's revenge, vengeance, avenge.
Avenge, I think. Avenge.
Could be avenge.
Yeah, avenge.
Avenge.
But both are the same. I think avenge.
Yeah, basically. Avenge just means it's the action of getting revenge. So we say either get revenge or avenge. But avenge is kind of like a little bit, I don't know, kind of like sounds kind of poetic, sounds kind of 19th century. It's not such a common word today, except for The Avengers, which is now a major movie.
Yeah, I like that.
Except for that.
So the word revenge is more common these days?
So avenge is less common than it used to be, maybe, because we just say get revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Anyway,
yeah.
So that's what get even means, or pay back. All right, we're back to Mr. David for rule out.
Okay, rule out. Decide to something is possible. That something is impossible.
Is impossible. Okay. And Mr. Rob, the very last one.
Bring about. Make something happen.
Bring about is to make something happen. Okay. Let those definitions sink into your brain for a moment. ask any questions if there's any questions. If not, let's see if we can do the same kind of thing. Now that you know the definitions, this might be a little bit easier. Remember, some of these are focused on cause and some are focused on effect. So, let's give it a try. We finished off with Rob. So, Giancarlo, take the first one for us.
The new airport has blank blank a lot of changes on this island. The new airport has
And by the way, it might help if you put in the word cause or effect. The new airport has caused a lot of changes, or the new port has affect a lot of changes. Okay, cause is obviously the right word, so it's got to be a synonym of cause.
the new airport has spring spring from. No, wait a second. Let me check the next one.
There's also another clue, which is look at the verb tense. These verbs are already conjugated for you. So it has to match has. What's the verb tense with has?
Sprang from, I think.
Right, so there's no sprung, therefore it doesn't match. So the second clue is see if it fits into the sentence. Spring doesn't fit. So it can't be spring from. Not possible. We're looking for the past participle of the verb.
Sprung from.
Right, but we don't have that choice. Therefore, you have to try again. In fact, how many past participles do you have on the page? You have ruled out, you have brought about, you have, that's it. You've only got those two choices. Those are the two past participles.
Okay. Maybe brought about, maybe.
It's the only one that fits, right? Ruled out doesn't really make sense. The new airport has ruled out. Only people can rule something out. So it won't work. It's got to be brought about, and that's the right answer. The new airport has brought about a lot of changes. Because of the airport, maybe there are new jobs. That's one of the changes that has been brought about. Because of the airport, there's a lot of noise. That's one of the new changes. Okay, so brought about works. That's it. We're on to Mr. Marcus for I don't know what.
Okay. I don't know what blank blank Mr. White's attack on me. Maybe he's trying to blank me, blank for me something I said about him.
Oh yeah,
maybe
this is difficult. You've got a whole bunch.
This is very difficult.
All right.
Or maybe
try just number two for now. Try the first one. You have to think about it like this. Is Mr. Wilde saying something good or saying something bad about you?
Something bad
exactly.
about.
And do you know why he's saying something bad? Obviously no, because I don't know. So you don't know the reason for it. In other words, you don't know the secret reason, the reason that's in his head. So think back to our definitions a moment ago. What's the phrasal verb for a hidden cause? A hidden cause.
I think spring from.
Spring from. Spring from is not necessarily hidden. But take a look. Take a look back here for a second.
Yes, are caused by. Okay. Stir up.
Causing an argument? That's not hidden. Actually, There's only one possibility. The one that says to explain the real reason for something. In other words, the reason is not obvious or the reason is not good, so there must be a hidden reason. So,
Okay.
it's got to be what?
Line behind.
Right? And here, the verb is already conjugated for you because it's the third person. So let's read the sentence as it should be.
Lies behind.
Yeah, let's hear the whole sentence. Let's hear how it sounds. I don't know.
I don't know what lies behind. Mr. Woods attacked on me. Maybe
Wild.
he's trying.
Mr. Wilds.
Mr. Wilds attack on me. Maybe he is trying to me.
Let's give V a chance to do the second one. By the way, Marcus, what does wild mean? The name wild. It's also a word. How do you say wild in Portuguese?
Wild in Portuguese is selvagem.
Good. All right. I just want to make sure you knew. So the pronunciation of selvagem in English is wild.
Wild.
Yeah, like
Wild.
2 syllables. Okay. V. I don't know what lies behind Mr. Wilde's attack on me. Maybe
he's trying to pay me back for something.
pay me back to get revenge. Right.
Continue.
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
I said about him, or maybe he just stirring things up.
Right. So, Mr. Wilde is probably a politician, and there's probably an election going on. He's trying to stir things up, create, trying to create a media controversy, something like that. Okay, so far so good. Let's go back to Mr. Moon for the photograph.
This photograph brings back memories of when we lived in Scotland when I was a child.
Exactly. That's it. Brings back. The effect of the photograph is to make me remember. So this is an effect phrasal verb, to bring back, to make me remember. Good. Mr. Rob, the doctors.
The doctor still have not blanked the possibility that he might have cancer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think it's rolled out.
Good.
It's impossible.
Right. Because it's not impossible, right?
Yeah.
Right. Pronunciation. Ruled out.
Ruled out.
That's it. Okay, very good. And I think we're back to Giancarlo for the last one. I think.
I think most problems teenagers experience blank blank a feeling of insecurity. I think most problems teenagers experience
In fact, there's only one left.
spring from a feeling of insecurity.
Spring from is correct. Okay, very good. Let's take a look at all the answers. Right? Brought about changes, lies behind the attack, pay me back for something, stirring me up, bringing back memories, ruling out the possibility of something, or problems spring from. There you go. That's it. That's it. I think you got the idea. Let's see if we can put some of these to the test. I'm not going to do all of these exercises, but here's one. Let me just take a look at which ones we should do. Yeah, okay. I think we're going to start with... Okay, let's do the first one because it's easy. I want to give at least 10 minutes for you to try to do our speaking game because I want you to see if you can use these in a fluent, natural way. So let's see if we can do maybe 2 of these exercises just to get them into your memory, okay? So, I think we can do these in any order you like. I'll read it. You tell me what the right word is, okay? So, the first one, the song that always blank. Wonderful memories whenever I hear it.
Brings
I should
back.
say that brings back. Very good. And you noticed that you had to change the conjugation, not bring but brings. Very good. Number 2, I think my problems at work blank the fact that I never really wanted to go into accountancy as a career. I wanted to be a lion tamer. I didn't want to be an accountant.
Maybe lies behind.
My problems at work lie behind the fact. That would mean that the problems are hidden by the fact. Problems aren't hidden. I want to say that my problems are caused by the fact.
Springing from. Yeah.
Spring from is correct. That's right. Very good. Look at 3. I wonder what really blank Maria's dislike of Paul. Now this one is, we want to know the real reason for Maria's dislike of Paul. Maybe Maria says that she doesn't like the way Paul dresses, but we're suspicious. We think there's another reason.
Lie behind. Lies.
Okay, so say the whole sentence. Yeah, lies behind. I wonder. Yep.
I wonder
what really lies.
Maria's dislike of Paul.
Right. It means that there must be a hidden reason for it. Hidden cause. Okay, look at 4. I don't like the way Maxine is always trying to blank trouble between us.
Stir up.
To stir up trouble between us is correct. Very good. Number 5, the film blank a lively discussion in class. The film blank a lively discussion.
Settle.
What?
Spark up.
I'm hearing sparked up. Is that it?
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Before V, someone said something.
The film said.
What was it, David?
Maybe set off.
Okay, set off. And V, you said sparked off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The film set off a lively discussion in class. It's not wrong, but it's not the best choice. It sort of maybe sounds a little too general. But if I say the film sparked off a lively discussion, that means that there's an element of inspiration, like striking a match, the flame suddenly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So sparked off is always good when we're talking about ideas or enthusiasm. So I think it's sparked off. I think that's it. So I would say 5, sparked off a lively discussion. By the way, let me just say a quick hello to Mr. Rudy Chen. Hello, Rudy. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Very good. And where are you from, Rudy?
From Taiwan.
From Taiwan. Wait a second. We had someone else from Taiwan, and he disappeared. We just had someone else from Taiwan. What happened to Vladimiru? I guess maybe today is the day of the Taiwanese people. So, Rudy, you missed the beginning of class, but that's okay. Right now, we're putting into practice some of the phrasal verbs that we've learned. Okay?
Yeah.
And if you want a copy of the material to follow along, all you need to do is click on this link, and you'll see exactly the same presentation. You can download it and study it or follow along. Okay?
Which link?
The link in the Verbling chat window. Do you see it?
Uh,
If you don't see it, here's another copy.
yeah,
Okay.
I found it.
Okay, great. Okay, so follow along for just a minute because we're going to finish up this exercise and then I'll see if you want to join in. We were on number 6. Everyone, if you know the answer, shout it out. The tragic pictures of the earthquake victims blank her blank, and she just couldn't stop crying. This means to provoke, to cause.
Brought her about.
Brought her about. Nope.
Set her off.
Set her off. It can't be brought her about because we can only bring about a change. So we can't bring her about. We can bring about a change in her, but that's not the way the sentence is constructed. So notice that if we use bring about, it's got to be bring something about, bring some change about. Does that make sense, Giancarlo? Why I can't put bring about here?
So it is set her off.
It set her off because if I say brought her, it automatically doesn't work. We can't bring her about because of the her. We can only bring a change about, and we don't have that choice here. So we can't bring about a person. We can only bring about something or a change.
Okay, so bring about is when someone calls me something. When someone calls me something, right? Bring.
So Giancarlo, going to Verbling every day will bring about what for you?
Bring about the rules of English.
There you go. It'll bring about learning the rules of English. Bring something about. So bring about learning.
Okay, so bring back is when something calls me something.
Bring back?
Bring back.
Bring back is to remember.
To remember. Well, when something remembers me something. Or to do something, right? Bring.
Yes, but be careful. Don't say when something remembers me something, because that's Spanish. In English, when something reminds me of something, it reminds, right? It brings back a memory. It brings back a memory. Bring about is always for some action. Brings about learning the rules of English. Set off is kind of a general way to talk about a change. Here it works. The pictures set her off. She got emotional looking at the pictures. Clear, more or less?
Yeah, more or less, yes.
All right, let's try a little practice.
Yes.
Here's what we're going to do. You've got 1, 2, 3 exercises. Yeah, 3 exercises you can try on your own for homework, and the answers are on the last page. So try that to get some extra practice. Send me any questions or comments that you have. But for now, I want to jump ahead to a little game. In this game, you are going to tell a story. It's the 5-word story game. However, you can only say 5 words at a time. The first 5 words and the last words, they're set. They don't count. The first 5 words are going to be once upon a time, because that's how stories begin. Once upon a time, there was a princess who wanted to find a unicorn. I don't know. And it's always going to end with the same words, something like the end. Maybe that's a good way to end the story. I don't know. But in between, we're going to get 5 chances to create a story of 5, not sentences, but 5 sentence fragments, we'll say. that have only 5 words. So this is all about fives. I'm going to do the first one with you so you can see how this works. Okay, but you can take a look at the directions. Student A, I'll give you a phrasal verb A as a secret message. You have to start a story, 5 words at a time. Remember, story will always begin with once upon a time. That's how it begins. Then you give it to your partner. Your partner is student B. Student B, you continue the story 5 words at a time. But here's the catch. Student A has to get student B to say the secret phrasal verb. You're trying to get the student to say the secret. If you get it right, it's your turn next, and you win a cookie, a yummy internet cookie that I'll send you somehow. I don't know how we're going to do it. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to try this with all of you. Each of you will get 1 chance. Here we go. Let me just pick my phrasal verb. Which one did I do before? Yeah, okay. Yep, I got it. Okay. So I'm going to go in the order that I see you. Mr. David, you're first. I'm going to start off with once upon a time. You continue with the next 5 words, David. Anything you want. Right now, it's completely open. And you don't know what word I'm trying to get you to say because I haven't given you a clue. So you can bring the story in any direction you like. Once upon a time.
Okay. Once upon a time, Peter write a new song. Writing.
Okay. Once upon a time, a what wrote a new song? Who?
Yes.
Who? What?
Pete, for example. Pete.
Pete. Okay. Once upon a time, Peter wrote. I'm writing this down. Wrote a new song. Very good. Peter wrote a new song. 5 words. Very good. So far, so good. By the way, I'll put that in the chat window, what we have so far. Excellent. Now it's my turn for 5 more words. Now, I'm going to give you a clue that'll hopefully get you to see what phrasal verb I want you to use. Once upon a time, Rob, Peter wrote a new song. Hang on a second, I got to give you 5 words. It was about a bomb. It's about a bomb. Okay. Now it's your turn, Rob. Let's see if you can figure out what phrasal verb I'm trying to get you to say, and if you can use it in a sentence, then we have told our 5-word story. Okay, so from the beginning, Rob.
Once upon a time, Peter wrote a new song. It was about a bomb.
Now you add 5 words of your own.
Okay.
2 of those words, try to put in the phrasal verb that you think I'm trying to get you to say. If you can't say it, then try to set up the next person to say it. It might not be easy. Oh, so in other words, if you can't say it, you just have to continue the story with 5 words.
Okay. It was about a bomb with explode in a big city.
That exploded in a big city. Oh, that's 6 words.
Yeah.
About a bomb exploding in a big city. Got it. Exploding in a big city. There's no phrasal verbs in that sentence. Uh-oh, we have a problem. But let's see if Giancarlo can recover the story. Giancarlo, continue. See if you can put in the right phrasal verb in the next 5 words.
Wow,
If not, continue the story for V.
once upon a time, Peter wrote a new song. It was about a bomb. It was about a bomb.
Exploding in a big city.
No,
Don't forget the last one. Exploding in a big city.
exploding in a big city. And all the people and all the no
Yeah, get rid of all the people. Say everyone.
and everyone let me see, and everyone brought back,
Brought back?
and everyone brought back.
Brought back what? You don't have to finish the sentence. Okay? You don't have to.
Everyone
Yeah, and everyone.
and everyone oh no John, it's difficult. And everyone
So put something. Time's up. And everyone. You want to use brought back?
yes,
Brought back. What's your last word? Because and everyone brought back. That's 4 words. You need one more word to finish.
and everyone brought back.
You need a noun or pronoun.
Yes, and everyone brought back a catastrophe.
A catastrophe is 2 words. Uh-oh. Can I give you a suggestion?
Please, yes.
Everyone brought back something. That means that V has to finish it for us, and she has to figure it out. By the way, you have not yet used the phrasal verb that I have in mind, so
Can I fix that sentence? It's not like a poem. Exploding in a big city, bringing back bad memories.
yeah, it should have been brought back memories. It should have been. Yeah, I guess you're right. Anyway, we're stuck with our story, V. Finish it up for us. See if you can still use the phrasal verb that I was trying to get you to say.
Oh,
Think about my clue. Remember, my clue was it was about a bomb. That was my clue. So you've got 5 words to finish the story. V, how are we going to finish it?
It set them off
Oh!
crying.
It set them off. It set them off crying. Wow!
Yeah.
V won the cookie. The word was to set off something. That was correct. I need like a bell or something when you get the right answer. I need to ring a bell. Very good. And there's our story for today. Yeah, there's no audio effects. Once upon a time, let me get the camera back on. Once upon a time, Peter wrote a new song. It was about a bomb exploding in a big city, and everyone brought back something. I don't know what they brought back. And it set them off crying. Set off was the right answer. Very good. Now you know how to play the 5-word story game, but we're out of time. Okay, but we'll get better. Next time we'll get better. By the way, don't forget that in language games, I pick up one of these games and try to recycle words that we've used. On Friday, tomorrow, I'm not going to do the 5-word story game. I'm going to do Word Sneak, but it's very similar, by the way. So, good job, everyone. download that presentation, try the exercises on your own, check your answers, send me a message if there's any questions or comments, and come back in 30 seconds for, we're doing Grammar Garage, all about comparisons. We'll be talking about music, and in the context of music, we'll be comparing and contrasting our tastes in music and learning the grammar rules. So check that out in about 30 seconds from now. Great job, everyone. See you soon.